Good morning, third graders. Welcome to lesson 6 of our home journaling unit. Today, we're going to be discussing how to write a book review. And I know a lot of you have some practice with that already, but today we're going to get a little bit of a refresher on how to do that. So I wanted to first show you that there is a website that some of you are familiar with called goodreads.com. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this link and show you what I'm talking about. This is one of my favorite websites. I have an account, and every time I finish a book, I make sure to review it and give it a star rating. So here you can see some popular books that maybe you're familiar with. I remember that Miss Schreiner came in and read this book to my class. And so if we click on this book, for example, The Giving Tree, we see that we can rate this book. It was amazing. Really liked it. Liked it. It was okay. Or did not like it. Personally, I would give it 5 stars because I think it's amazing. And not only will we give it a star rating, but we would also want to write a review about this. So I'm going to teach you today how to write a review, and you can either publish that on Goodreads if you have an account, or send it to Miss Klein and Miss W so that we can see your work. Today I want to teach you that journal writers can write book reviews in order to, number 1, give book recommendations to friends. I do that all the time with my own friends. If I finish a great book, I think about a particular person in mind who would really like that book. Based on books that they've told me they liked before, I can think, ooh, I bet they're going to like this one too. Number 2, reflect on your own opinion of a book. Sometimes writing a review, going through that process, helps you realize why you liked a particular book, or maybe why you didn't like a certain book. And number 3, keep track of the books you're reading. Lots of times, one way that we can keep track of what we're reading and keep track of the books we like is by writing a review and keeping track of that somewhere. Just like this would be a really great way to keep track is in your journal. So here are some tips to keep in mind when writing a book review. Be honest. So you want to make sure that you give your review some personality. And remember that kids want to know what you really think. So other kids who are reading your reviews, they don't want to think like, oh, they just wrote this and didn't really mean what they said. You want to make sure you're giving your honest opinion about a book. If you didn't like it, you should probably say so. And if you loved it, you should definitely say so. You want to be detailed. You want to tell us what you liked or what you didn't like. So why was it a story that you couldn't put down? Were the characters just like people you know? What made this book special? So again, you're going to want to be detailed. Be accurate. Accurate means that you're not making up information about the book. You're making sure that everything you're saying is something that happened in the book. You want to make sure you include the title, author, and you want to make sure you get the characters' names right. And so you also want to double check your spelling and grammar before you post a review so that people can really read it very easily. And finally, and this is really important in a book review, and sometimes I see students do this because they get so excited about an amazing ending that they spoil the ending. Spoiling the ending means that they gave the ending away. And that's especially not great if you're reading like a mystery novel where the ending is the best part and you really don't want to ruin it for someone. So keep that in mind as you're writing that review. Some other things to include in your review is a hook for your readers. So you guys already know that a hook can sometimes start with a question. That's a great way to get your reader really engaged in your review. You definitely want to write your opinion of the book. So here's an example. In my opinion, The Cat in the Hat is hilarious. It deserves 5 stars. So don't just talk about the book without saying how you felt about it. Provide specific details. This book is thrilling. You'll be on the edge of your seat as Cam attempts to solve the mystery of the UFO. So instead of just saying this book is thrilling, you want to say why it's thrilling. Why is this an exciting book? And here's this one right here, recommends the book to a certain type of reader. So here's an example. If you like mysteries, then you will absolutely love the Cam Jansen series. And finally, you want to give it a star rating. So again, on that site Goodreads, the stars mean this. So 5 stars, it was amazing. 4 stars, really liked it. 3 stars, liked it. 2 stars, it was okay. And then 1 star, did not like it. And remember, you want to be honest about your rating. If you didn't like the book, you should probably say so that people maybe who thought they might want to read it, they read your review and think, no, I'm going to choose a different book instead, one that I know that I will like. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to actually show you an example in just a second. We'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to write a review, and I'm going to give an example of a book that you all are familiar with. So again, I'm going to Google Docs, just like we always do. If you have already started your journal, which all of you should have started already because this is now lesson 6, you're going to want to click on your recent documents and just click on your journal. I'm just going to use an example though, which is why I'm clicking a blank document, but you will just write in your journal. So again, like your journal might be titled My Journal. Remember, you've done this already, so you don't have to do it again. Okay, so again, make sure you always start with the date, so April 22nd, 2020. And for my book review, I'm going to make sure that I have a title for it. And again, remember, I'm going to press center align so that I can put it right here. One thing that's interesting to know about titling your books is that actually when you're typing, you want to make it an italic. So italic is like the slanty I right here. And so when we have a book title, we want to put it in italic. So I am going to be writing a review of Because of Winn-Dixie, one of my favorite books. Because of Winn-Dixie. And then once I'm done writing the title, I just have to click this again to turn it off. And then I'm just going to say book review. So notice how now my typing is not slanted. I'm going to press enter twice so that I have a space in between my title and my review. And I'm going to bring my cursor, this is called the cursor right here, the thing that's blinking, back over to the left. And remember that we start a paragraph by pressing tab. And here we go. I'm going to start with my hook. Have you ever read a book that you just couldn't put down? I'm going to make sure I have my question mark at the end. Well, one of those books for me is, and because I'm going to say the title again, I'm just going to put it in italics, Because of Winn-Dixie. I'm going to turn the italics off. I'm going to say the author's name, by Kate DiCamillo. That's the author's name. This book is both, I want to say funny, but I think I can think of a better word. What else is a synonym for funny? Oh, I know. This book is both humorous and sad. I know that in 3rd grade we don't have to use the word sad. There are other words that mean the same as sad. What's a better word? Oh, I know, heartbreaking. By the time you finish reading this book, and I made a mistake, so I can just click on that and finish reading this book, you'll fall in love with the story and remember the characters forever. I give it 5 stars. That's me telling you my opinion about the book. Now, I'm not done yet. I think the reader's going to want to know more about this book before committing to read it. What if the person reading it doesn't really know much about this book still? So I'm going to give them more context, more details about this story. So I might think about, what could I be writing about? I can be writing about the setting. I can write a little bit about the main character, what's happening, the plot. So I'm going to choose to start off with the main character, Opal, just moved to a town called Naomi with her father. She is lonely. I do remember that. She is lonely and friendless. So that's the problem in the story, which I kind of want to mention because I think my reader might be interested in what the problem is in the book. Until one day she comes across a dog named Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie helps her discover new friends, and teaches her many valuable lessons. So I'm really not trying to give away the whole ending. I'm just trying to give the reader a little bit better idea of what they'll be picking up if they decide to read it. I'm going to also talk more about why I love this book. I'm going to talk more about Opal because Opal's one of my favorite character. Opal is the kind of person I would want to get to know. She is sometimes funny, sometimes angry, sometimes upset, just like a real person. I love that about her. Add an and here. Okay. And I'm just going to add in a last paragraph here and talk a little bit more about why I love this book so much. The best part about reading in the title, Because of Winn-Dixie, is all the emotions you feel as a reader. Remember, I'm trying to convince the people reading my review that this is a great book to read. So I'm really trying to make it seem like this is a very, very good book. So that's why I added in this sentence. Throughout the book, you might find yourself laughing at some of the more absurd moments. Absurd kind of means like ridiculous moments that happen throughout the story. And for me, at least, I know when I started reading it to my class, I did get a little bit teary-eyed during a certain part, which I won't give away in the review, and crying during some moving moments between Opal and her father. And remember, I'm not going to give away too much. If you are the type of reader who loves realistic stories that are both uplifting and touching, then you will love this book. And I think that's enough. I think I didn't give away the ending. I made sure I said my opinion, I had a hook, and I made sure that I recommended it to a certain type of reader. So now it is your turn to, it is your turn to try this on your own. So you're going to be choosing a book that you recently read, so one that you can remember pretty well, and you're going to form an opinion about the book. Did you enjoy reading it? Why or why not? How many stars would you give that book out of 5? And I just realized that I actually have to go back and give my book some stars. So I'm going to press Shift 8, and I'm going to come up with some stars. That's 1 star, but definitely wasn't 1 star for me. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give it 5 stars. So that's how I did that and how my reader knows I give it 5 stars. Think about specific reasons for your opinion, just like I did, and then write your review, keeping a particular type of reader in mind. I can't wait to read your reviews because I'm always looking for new books to read. So I'm hoping that one of your reviews inspires me to read a new book. Okay, best of luck. I can't wait to read your reviews.